Well, I think it's about time that we talked, y'all. So, I am very aware that when a black performer leaves a major room, people tend to assume the worst. So let me make this clear. I'm so incredibly proud of the work that I did. If you know, you know. I showed up on time. Maybe it was just because of the chicken fingers and the kitchen closed at 9:30. But I showed up on time, okay? I produced sickening numbers, like iconic, week after week, so many sleepless nights. I learned a lot about who I am and how I'm perceived as a black performer. Let me tell you something. We live in a world where black people are very rarely given the benefit of the doubt. One thing I'm not here to do, and I will not do, because I've already done that, is beg for the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to do it. Because I know that people who look like me are very rarely afforded that luxury. Bitch, if we did, I wouldn't be making this video. So I've learned that people will decide who I am before even getting to know me. And that very projection and assumption will be what everything gets filtered through from that moment on. So the concept of she works hard and she pushes herself to do more turns into she thinks she's better than everybody. She's trying to compete with everybody. When in reality, I'm competing with myself, unfortunately. And showing up early and offering to go first, or asking what I can do to make the show better, turns into she's being a kiss ass. Clarifying that I followed directions because you were upset that people weren't following directions, and clarifying that I did, and I did this a while ago, turns into you're being a bitch, and that's why no one likes you. I don't know if I can do this. If you understood the sheer amount of distress that this caused me for years as a neurodivergent person, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Like, still in therapy trying to work through this, and I think that's why I finally feel like I can talk about it. Just trying to figure out, like, why is it the more that I do, the more y'all don't like me? And I'm just being me. I'm just trying my best to be myself. Oh my gosh, and now I get it, and now I understand, and I get it. I'm thankful for it at this point, because it made me who I am. I am the bad bitch that I am today because I pushed myself to prove something to you, to get respect that I was never going to be afforded. One of the biggest turning points for me was something that happened a few weeks ago where I needed to talk to the manager of a bar that I had been working at for years, and he listened to understand. He asked questions. Not once did he negate my experience. Not once did he gaslight me into thinking that something else was what was going on. And it just sounds so simple, right? It just sounds so basic. Never projected some twisted version of who he thought I was onto me. He actually said to me, I've never seen you be anything but nice and kind to everybody. That interaction taught me that there are people who will lead with integrity. There are people who will lead with morality. Whether we like to admit it or not, all of us have or have had the tendency to have these projections on people of color, have these ideas of people of color. It doesn't matter if you're a person of color either. The only way to check your biases is to know that they're there. This isn't meant to go viral. What this is it's meant to reach the people that it's meant to reach.